والصلاة والسلام على من لا نبي بعده وعلى آله وصحبه ومن تمسك بسنته إلى يوم الدين وسلم تسليما كثيرا أما بعد. As we continue in preparation for ourselves for the upcoming month شهر رمضان المبارك فنسأل الله تبارك وتعالى يبلغنا وإياه ويوفقنا وإياكم إلى القيام بالأعمال الصالحة فيه إنه ولي ذلك والقادر عليه. As we continue, Ya Ma'ashar al-Ikhwa, preparing ourselves for this great month which we're embarking upon, which approximately is about 3 weeks left, and a little about a day, approximately. And for that reason, Ya Ma'ashar al-Ikhwa, we have been enlightening ourselves in these lessons. Alhamdulillah, we just covered the first narration, in which, or rather we have covered about 3 narrations now. Starting with the narration of Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu. Well, there was more than 2 narrations. Starting with the hadith of Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu. And also we said, this is the same hadith you'll find that Abdul Ghani al-Maqdisi that he mentioned in Uqdat al-Ahkam. It's the same narration you will find in which the great Imam al-Hafiz Ahmad ibn Ali ibn Shihab al-Hajj al-Asqalani mentioned in Bulugh al-Maram. So we finished the hadith and finalized that narration. We said, as we concluded the narration, when the Messenger of Allah ﷺ mentioned it, said, لا تقدموا رمضان بصوم يوم أو يومين إلا رجل كان يصوم صوما فليصوم. We finished that hadith with the Messenger of Allah ﷺ, which is collected in Bukhari Muslim, which is in the Sahihain, in the 2 Sahihs, and the 2 Sahihs, or the Sahihain. Do not precede Ramadan by a day or 2 days, except a man that used to fast a fast, meaning habitually. Then let him perform that fast. We said, Ya Ma'ashar al-Ikhwa, and we gave a little bit more details in this regard. What do we say? We said that the same details of this narration applies on the same hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, who was mentioned and said, فَإِذَا انْتَصَفَ الشَّعْبَانِ فَلَا تَصُومُوا. That in the middle of Sha'ban, or if you arrive to the middle of Sha'ban, then do not fast. We said in this regard, what was mentioned, what was the details, of the same exact details that are mentioned in this narration is the same details that applies to that narration. That there's no difference. We said the narration regards to what? Number 1, as our brother has said, or Jamal, he's over there praying, that he asks about this narration, the authenticity of it. Ahl Ilm do different regards to the authenticity of the hadith, where the Prophet ﷺ mentioned, where they say that the Messenger of Allah ﷺ said, فَإِذَا انْتَصَفَ الشَّعْبَانُ فَلَا تَصُومُوا. If you arrive to the middle of Sha'ban, or if it becomes the middle of Sha'ban, then do not fast. You'll find from Ahl Ilm who authenticated the hadith, from them is the great Imam, Shaykh Abdul Aziz ibn Baz, rahimahullah rahmatu wasi'ah, and likewise the great Imam Al-Albani, rahimahullah rahmatu wasi'ah, that he does declare the hadith to be authentic. However, you'll find there's a lot of Ahl Ilm, and you'll find there's big ikhtilaf in this hadith. And Imam Ahmad said the hadith is munkar. The narration is what? He said this narration is munkar because it's on the authority isnad of Al-Ala, Abdurrahman ibn Al-Ala, rather his father Al-Ala, Al-Ala, he's thiqa, but they said, yeah, he what? However, انفرد بهذه الرواية عن سائر الثقات, that the hadith has some inkar in it, and it has some weakness due to the fact that they say that Al-Ala, that he had branched off with this narration by himself without those who are trustworthy and reliable in the narrations. But anyway, just to sum it up, I don't want to go too deep into the takhrij, but anyway, the hadith in which, and Allahu Alam, you'll find that the great Imam Abdul Aziz bin Baz, and also likewise we have the great Imam Muhammad Nasiruddin al-Albani has said the narration is authentic. How is it applicable? What did we say last lesson, Ya Ma'ashar al-Ikhwa? How is this narration applicable? Everything that we apply to this narration applies to that narration. Everything. Which is what everyone, what do we say? A person that habitually fasts, whether it be Yom al-Ithnain or Yom al-Khamis, whether it be Monday or Thursday, or Ayyam al-Bid, what they call the white days, which are what, everyone? According to the Hijri calendar, the 13th, the 14th, and the 15th. That's Ayyam al-Bid. Or, for example, a person that also likewise used to, or obligatory fast. We said that the obligatory fast breaks down to how many categories? 3, which is number 1, Siyam Ramadan, Qada'an, or Hara, or Hukman, or he's going to say, Ada'an, or Qada'an, excuse me. Fasting of Ramadan, whether it be, of course, we know, fasting on that particular day of today, or making it up, maybe next year. Or, for example, Siyam Nadhr. Siyam Nadhr, taking a vow to fast, is another fast that is what? Obligatory. And also likewise, Siyam al-Kaffara, the Siyam of what, everyone? Of expiation. Those type of fasts can be fasted any time around the year. Doesn't matter what it is, at the end of Sha'ban, the beginning of Sha'ban, the end of Sha'ban. Those type of fasts are what? Applicable to any day and any time during the year. Except for the 2 Eidain, which you'll find what the Messenger of Allah did prohibit, that one not fast on the 2 Eids. But other than that, the hadith of not to fast in the middle or after Sha'ban, after the middle Sha'ban, and the last in this narration here, what we covered, all the details that we gave applies on the hadith of not to fast after the 15th or the middle of Sha'ban. Same thing. Like we said, except the person that had an habitual fast prior before the 15th. Or if a person wanted to fast a couple of days before the middle of Sha'ban, then he can fast after the 15th. Some days that he might have fasted prior before Sha'ban, before the 15th of Sha'ban or the middle of Sha'ban, then that person can what? He can continue, or if he wanted to fast the rest of the month of Sha'ban. But if a person did not start off, he had no habitual fasting, and he did not fast at all for the first 15 days or the first part of Sha'ban, then the 15th came in, and this was his state, and this was his affair, or this is how he was, then it's not permissible to what? Fast after the middle of Sha'ban. Jayyid? Right, that's what we mentioned in last class, right, everyone? Just to sum up what we took from last class. Right. Also, the next hadith and what we took from last class, which was what, everyone? Hadith Ammar ibn Yasir. As we also likewise took that hadith, right, everyone? من صام اليوم الذي يشك فيه فقد عصى أبا القاسم. Now, whoever fasts the days in which it has doubt in, like we said, you'll find that the people call it what, everyone? Yom Shak, the day of doubt. Then he has disobeyed Abul Qasim. This hadith also likewise is to show that it's impermissible to fast on the day of doubt. The day of doubt usually, like we said, occurs at when, everyone? Usually the 29th night. The 29th. When the people start to go out and investigate to see the moon. All the way up till the 30th, of course, and then the 1st of Ramadan. That period of time is the time where they call, or what usually happens if there's some hindrance in the sky. If there's some hindrance. Because a person will say, why is it called Yom Shak? Why is it called the day of doubt? Due to the fact, like we said, because there's some type of hindrance where one is not able to see the sighting clearly. It doesn't matter whether it's a ghaim or whether it's a qatar or whatever it is. What does it matter if there's clouds that's cloudy, or if it's, for example, in certain countries they have some type of sand desert where it's so cloudy that they can't see, or any type of hindrance, or what, no matter what it is. Whether if you're in a room and it's blocking or something like that, or you're not able to see it, or it's no news is able to reach you, or whatever, any type of hindrance that prevents you from seeing the sighting clearly. The Messenger of Allah ﷺ, as we know, on that particular day, if there's some clouds in the sky, and it's the 28th, the night of the 29th, and there's something in the sky that is hindering one's vision from seeing the sighting clearly. That is what they call the day of doubt, because it's something that's blocking one's vision. And it might be probably what? The start of Ramadan the following day or not. Or it could still be Sha'ban. So that's the reason why they call it what? Yom Shak, because it's coming. Something is hindering the sight from seeing the moon. Whether it be what? A cloud, dust, or what have you. Doesn't matter. If there's a hindrance and it's not, one doesn't know for sure whether or not it's Ramadan tomorrow or will it be Sha'ban again, then that's called the day of doubt. That's called the day of doubt. So you'll find, like we said, some of the people will what? Fast out of ignorance. This particular day, they said, just in case I'm going to fast, or I'm going to start, I'm going to make my niyyah for tomorrow morning, due to the fact that this might be, or the next day will be Ramadan. The Prophet ﷺ said what? Number one, for this hadith in which we just said, Ammar ibn Yasir. So a person would say, why does it say this is a hadith? This is a athar. This is a kalam of Ammar ibn Yasir. We said this narration here takes the hukm of a hadith. Why? Because he gave a hukm. Ammar ibn Yasir, the great sahabi, radiallahu anh, gave a ruling. He gave a ruling which is from the what? From the affairs of tashri', of legislation, which Allah Ta'ala only does either him, subhanahu wa ta'ala, in his book or upon the tongue of his noble Prophet, alayhi salatu wasalam. So the fact that he gave a hukum shows that he did not get that from himself, because no one from the Sahaba could say that something was halal or haram or what have you from their own selves unless they took that understanding directly from the message of Allah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. That's the reason why you'll find that Ahl Ilm mention saying that this hadith takes a what? This narration takes, as they say, lahu hukm al-rafa'. That this narration, that it has the hukm al-rafa'. It takes the hukm of a hadith. Due to the fact that he mentioned the ruling. He said, Asa Abu al-Qasim. That he has disobeyed Abu al-Qasim. Alhamdulillah. He said, due to the fact he has disobeyed Abu al-Qasim. Number one, you'll find in this narration what? For a person not to fast the day of doubt. Not to do it. And usually, like we said, it starts on the 29th night. The 29th, you'll find that the people will start to look for the ru'ya, for the sight. And when they go out, like we said, if it's something blocking or hindering the vision, where one is not able to see it clearly, or the people who are from Ahl al-Khibra, or Ahl al-Ikhtisas, or Ahl al-Hidq, or al-Mahara, the people that have skills and are properly trained to know what to look for, the people who specialize in these matters, they go out and they look for the sighting, and something is blocking it. If that's the case, then what that we said that it's called the day of doubt, especially if they do this on the 29th and something is blocking their vision. So the message of Allah clearly mentioned, and what was mentioned in this particular narration, that's prohibited to fast that day. In contrast to a person that might come into you and say, what about the madhab al-Imam Ahmad? The madhab al-Imam Ahmad, that you'll find that the narration of those who are ashab al-madhab al-Hanbali, they say that a person could fast, or they can fast. Rather, you'll find that the madhab says that what? The madhab al-Hanbali, saying that a person can fast that day. He's supposed to fast. Matter of fact, you'll find that they say, يَجِبُ صَوْمُ هَذَا الْيَوْمِ يَجِبُ صَوْمُ هَذَا الْيَوْمِ. It's obligatory to fast that day. That's in the books of the madhab al-Imam Ahmad of what was prohibited, even what was mentioned in Insaf, which was Madin, and also Zad, al-Mustaqna', and other of the books in which the madhab al-Hanbali is relied upon. But however, you'll find that Ahl Ilm say that what? That particular statement is incorrect, especially in regards to what Shaykh al-Islam Taymiyyah mentioned, and also Ibn al-Qayyim, because we know Ibn al-Qayyim also likewise was Hanbali, yes. And also a lot of the other Ahl Ilm who also service the madhab, from them is also, you're going even Shaykh al-Islam Taymiyyah likewise. You'll also mention in this regard that they say that it's not permissible, just give me 1 second, Ibrahim. It's not permissible to fast the day of doubt. Shaykh al-Islam mentioned it, Ibn al-Qayyim mentioned it, and also Sheikh Muhammad Abdul Wahhab mentioned it. Also likewise, that it's prohibited to fast the day of doubt. It's prohibited. And that is the qawl rajih. That is the strongest opinion in this regard. and also Sheikh Salih Fawzan, and also Sheikh Uthaymeen, and also Sheikh bin Baz, and the list goes on and on and on and on and on. You understand, everyone? So the fast of the day of the doubt, the most correct opinion is for a person not to do it. Even though you'll find that the madhab of Imam Ahmed something other than that. But like we said, those who service the madhab, especially Shaykh Uthaymeen, he mentioned in this regard that there's no clear, frank statement that Imam Ahmed said that it's permissible or it's obligatory to fast the day of doubt. He says nothing clear. He says you'll find that from the aqwal of ashab al-madhab. The people who service the madhab actually mentioned that. Now, tafadhal Ibrahim. No, the 29th. Did I say Ramadan? If I said that, that's a slip. That was a sabq al-lisan. My tongue preceded my thought. I meant Sha'ban. If I said Ramadan, that was in 29th Ramadan. If I said that, that was incorrect. I meant to say Sha'ban. Sabq al-lisan. My tongue might have slipped, but I meant to say Sha'ban. And that's what's only called the day of doubt. Why, Ibrahim? You got the point. Jay. Mumtaz. طيب. In this regard, we said and we finished and concluded to say this is the reason why it's impermissible to fast the day of doubt. Also, likewise, the next ahadith, which is mentioned in the Sahihain, also those 4 narrations, also is an evidence of proof to show that it's impermissible to what? To fast the day of doubt. It's impermissible to fast the day of doubt. You'll find it is mentioned and said on the authority of what? Firstly, this is where we stopped at. It says, Ibn Umar, on the authority of Ibn Umar radiallahu anhu, سمعت رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يقول, he says, إذا رأيتموه فصوموا. That's the point of reference. If you see it, then fast. So the message of Allah صلى الله عليه وسلم said what? If you see it, then fast. So that's the point of evidence and reference in this narration. The mawdi' al-shahid here is إذا رأيتموه فصوموا فإذا رأيتموه فأفطروا فإن غم عليكم فأكملوا فقدروا له. That's one narration. فقدروا له. If you see it, then fast, and if you see it, then break the fast, meaning at the end of Ramadan. If it becomes unclear to you, where there's something hindering your vision, such as clouds or what have you, then count فقدروا له. Count the days. Count the days. So a person, or count or enumerate it. What says clear, just to be frank, enumerate or count it. A person would say, what does the noun, it, what does it go back to? Now the explanation of that is in the other narrations. That comes. It's in the other following narrations here, where it says, فَإِذَا أُغْمِي عَلَيْكُمْ فَقْدِرُوا لَهُ ثَلَاثِينَ. If it now becomes unclear to you or obscure due to something blocking your vision or some type of something hindering the vision, then count for it, what? 30. In another narration, what? Al-Bukhari, فَأَكْمِلُوا الْعِدَّةَ ثَلَاثِينَ. Count the period of days of what? Of 30. طيب. Another narration, what does it say, everyone? You thought Abu Hurairah, فَأَكْمِلُوا عِدَّةَ شَعْبَانَ ثَلَاثِينَ. So now it's clarifying. What that particular wording, it, count it, what it goes back to. It's going back to Sha'ban. To Sha'ban, count it 30. There's another narration that's not written in your books, which is very important, where everyone should have memorized. That the Prophet ﷺ said, إِنَّمَا الشَّهْرُ تِسْعٌ or tis'atun wa ishrun. Verily the month is what? 29 days. 29 days. Keep that in mind. Because there's a lot of what? There's a lot of fiqh in that one narration of the Prophet ﷺ. A lot of what? Fiqh. The person would think, what is extracted from that? How or what would be the particular type of matters that would come up involving this particular narration? What is it? We're going to start on that in a minute, inshallah, giving examples. Don't worry. Also, likewise, There's another narration of the Prophet ﷺ, which is not your books, which we're going to talk about, discuss, which also aids. These narrations is in your books, where he says of al-Eid, يوم ما يفطر الناس والعيد يوم ما يفطر الناس وكذلك الأضحى يوم ما يضحي الناس. Keep that in mind. He says, excuse me, I'm sorry. الفطر يوم يفطر الناس والأضحى يوم يضحي الناس. That the fitr of the day when people break is, or the time we're supposed to break is on the day that the people break and stop fasting. And the slaughter, or the day of slaughter, is on the day when the people slaughter. There's another narration I want everyone to keep in mind, because we're going to discuss something that's going to come up. So keep that. These narrations that's in your books, and those other two. That's going to come, inshallah. So based upon this now, I wanted to discuss in regards to some other masail that's going to come up. So a question by asking this regard, and I want everybody to listen. If a man now was to travel, because this actually happened to me myself, I experienced this. If a man was to travel from one place to another, and we know, of course, we mentioned in the last class that Shaykh Uthaymeen he's on the opinion that the matali' is different, meaning the zones are slightly different as far as a person's sighting in every different country as far as the Muslim countries. As far as in regards to now the non-Muslim countries of which we're in now, you find that it says that we should, if we don't have anyone to sight, or there's no type of rabita Islamiyah, or no returning point of Islam that is trustworthy, then they can take and follow the division of an Islamic country. He does mention that. But he said that the asl is what? Is that every zone has their own what? Or every zone, if it's not, if the zones are off a bit in each land, of course, but if they're not in the same exact space where those people will see the exact same sighting, of course, but if it's different in other zones or other far remote places, then their sightings can be different. And he said that's also what Shaykh al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah mentioned. But he also gave details and said other details, where he said if there's no returning or reference point in your countries, in the non-Muslim countries, then they can rely on the sighting of of the Islamic country to them. Based upon, that's another statement of Ahl Ilm, where the mas'ala, like we said, does have some khilaf. But due to the fact that we're in a non-Muslim country, then you'll find that we usually apply, or what we work here is by the vision of Saudiya, based upon the fact that there's no type of reference point of a Rabita Islamiyah who has the actual capability, the expertise, the skills to go out and look and see what is out there. So that's the reason why you'll find that a lot of the brothers, like we said, rely on the ru'ya or the vision or the sighting of the Saudiya every year. But like we said, the masala has some khilaf in it. But number one is, Shaykh al-Islam does mention that the matali' are different. He said there's no way that we can unite one sighting. Just as there's no way we can unite times of the salawat. He says it's something that's affair that cannot be done. It's established by Ahl al-Ma'rifah. He said also likewise you'll find even Sheikh Salih Fawzan, which we'll discuss in a couple of minutes, that he said this affair is not really something of grave importance to even busy the Muslims with. It's not something that the people should even be utilizing as something as in order either to unite the Muslims or divide upon. Due to the fact, he says, you'll find that the majority of the Muslims, why don't those who ramp and rave about so-called uniting the Muslims upon one siding, why don't they rap and rave around trying to unite the Muslims upon one aqidah? You'll never hear them do that. Uniting the Muslims upon one methodology. Unite the Muslims upon, why don't you ramp and rave about that? But you want to ramp and rave about what? Ru'ya. Why don't we have one sighting? Why can we unite upon one sighting? I'm going to read all that and it's going to come inshallah. Don't worry. But as far as in the matali', just to keep that in mind, because there's a reason why I'm saying that. He says, of course we know. He says a person now goes from one city to another, or another country. He says, do you know that the matali' are different, or the different sightings based upon the different remote distances? Their sighting might have been Might have been different from the country that you came from. They might have started it a day later. Now just listen. فالقاعدة أن يكون صيامه بإفطاره حسب البلد الذي هو فيه. Now listen to this. The principle is that the fasting and one breaking it is according to the city in which one is in. Keep that in mind. He says when the month has been established. He says, however, if it's been what? إذا نقصت أيام صيامه عن 29 يوما. That's the reason why I gave you this hadith. Now, however, he says, let's just say now, if the person where he was going to another place, if it was less than 29 days, would it be upon him now to what? Make up another day until he's completed 29? Let's just say he went to another country, another place. They might have broken their fast or stopped fasting maybe a day early. So I only fasted 28 days. We just said in the hadith, what everyone? The Prophet ﷺ said what? That the month is how many days? 29. He says 29. So if a person fasted 28 days, would that be enough based upon this hadith? It wouldn't be enough. It wouldn't be enough. Like if the city that he went to, of course, as a matter of fact, all the examples are going to come. Don't worry. Just keep that in mind. That example is another example we're going to talk about in a second. Do it this time. So now, in this regard, I'm going to give an example for myself. This happened to me. I was on a plane one time. I was coming from Saudi, and I was coming back to America. And I said to myself, it was Ramadan. I didn't want to take the rukhsa. I said, listen, I can hack it. I could do it. So Saudi, it came in for Fajr over in Saudi, in Jeddah. So I took my suhoor, ate my suhoor, whatever, before Fajr came in or whatever, and I said, I'm a fast. Bismillah. Keep in mind here in America, you know that day, because we started in the morning. So you're going against time, going back to America, more than likely, you're going to be fasting a very long time. Very long time. Due to the fact that you'll find Fajr what? Fajr came, I think it came at about 5:30 if I don't remember. Then, when you're going against time, of course, when you're going back to America, you'll find out the day is going to be very long. Because you're going against time. You're going against time. So when I arrived to America, so I've been traveling about, 11 hours? When I arrived to America, it was only the time for Dhuhr. So you can imagine, it was an 11-hour trip going back in time. Kind of like going against time, not back in time. Going against time. So when I arrived to America, it was about maybe 12 or 1 o'clock. Even though I just traveled maybe, 11 hours. And more. Probably, or 11 hours have been already passed me by in the lapse. Because we know that now, right now, it's 7 o'clock. So Saudi is about, 7, 8 hours ahead of us? So when I arrived, I came to America, it was still only 12 or 1 o'clock. Even though I've been fasting now already for about, probably 12 hours almost. So based upon that, when I arrived, so now it's about, let's just say in America, now it came to about 2 or 3 o'clock. In Saudi, it's time to what? Break fast. So a person, would he go now by what? He started his fast off in Saudi, or he goes based upon when he arrived in America? In the city that you're in. So that is why a person will what? Still have to fast. And I fast probably for approximately about 20 hours. Because it was in the summertime. We didn't break fast, I think, until about 6 or 7 o'clock. So I think I fasted for about 20 hours. If not, just slightly more, maybe 21 hours. Which was nothing. What your body's used to is used to it now. But that's how long I fasted. For a person would think, well, I started off in Saudi, but even though I started off in Saudi, that means I can use their time because I started off there. No. Your day is based upon where you what? Where you landed. The day that you're in. It's clear what I'm saying so far, everyone? Ooh, I did it. Fell into it. At any rate, so now in this regard, we say the asl is that one completes 29 days. So keep that in mind. That's the qa'idah. One has to complete 29 days. So if he goes to another country and let's just say he only did 28, he has to complete 29 at least. Unless, and which we're going to discuss, don't worry. Person going to say, well, I understand. I'm going to give him examples. Don't worry. Unless the country you came in and the country you're going to, of course, they completed 30, then you have to do 30. Don't worry. Well, I'm going to discuss it. I'm going to give examples. If they did 30, you have to do 30. So that means you have to make up 2 days. We're going to talk about it, inshallah. Don't worry. Don't worry. Don't worry. I'm going to give you examples. So, based upon the narration that we gave, that the day, I gave you number one, that the days are how many? 29. The Prophet ﷺ mentioned. And also hadith what? The day of Fitr is the day that the people what? Break their fast. I think everyone knows now why I gave you that narration. The Fitr is the day that the people break, on the day that the people in that country, in that place, break their fast. And the people on the day Adha, the people, when they slaughter is the day that they what? Then the people slaughter likewise. But I think you guys have somewhat of why I mentioned that narration, because this is the kind of example I just gave. So because I had to break fast based upon the city that I was in, when the day that the people broke their fast. Not on the day that what? Saudi or another place broke their fast. But when I arrived to that country, it was incumbent upon me to break my fast based upon the time or the time frame that the people break the fast in that particular place. Meaning the place I went to, or the place I arrived at. Jayyid. Whoa, I'm going to give the examples. So now, first qa'idah. First principle is what? So, fasting and breaking fast is according to the country or the city in which you're in. That's number one. That's number one. Jayyid. So far. Number two. It's obligatory for a person to complete what? How many days? At least 29. Notice I say at least. Ala al-aqal. 29. At least. Has to. At least. Don't worry, it's going to come. More details. You will find, based upon the hadith I gave everyone, there's no way that a month, al-hilali, or a month of Islamic month could be less than what? No more less than 29. It's impossible. It cannot be. Less than 29. It cannot be 28 and that's it. It has to be what? 29. At least. Where is that extracted from in the narration in your books? If you see it, then what? Break your fast. And if you see it, then break your fast. And all based upon which narration I just gave everyone. That the day is what? 29. Jayyid. I think that'll suffice for now. Now I'll give an example. Let's give examples. Examples. A lot of examples. Let's just say a person now went from one city. He went from a place or went from a country. I want to hear everybody let their brains work. Participation. حتى يكون عندنا نوع من التفاعل بيننا والمفاعلة بيننا. طيب. Person went from one country. He started his fast from the land he came from, or with the people with the land he originally started his trip, right, everyone? طيب. Let's just say they started on Sunday, Yom al-Ahad. Sunday. To the land, so now he traveled to the land, and the people fasted and started their fast on Monday. So now, let's just say they broke their fast on Wednesday, based upon they completed 30 days. Okay? For what a person, what would be his state? He will have to fast with them, of course, with the land that he went to. When he arrived at that land, let's just say now, when he arrived to the land that he was going to, his destination, the land, like we said, notice that the land that he came from, they started on Sunday. The destination of what the people were going to, they started when? Monday. So when he arrived on, let's just say, Wednesday, where he completed 30 days, this person now, when he arrives, if he was to complete, he would what? He would do 31. Yes, he would. He would be fasting an extra day, 31 days. So now he's saying, okay, I completed 30, but I'm in this land now, and they still haven't broken their fast. They're going to do an extra day. Does he fast with them or not? Even though he completed 30 days. I gave you guys the qawaid. Now pry them. I want to hear Ibi. So that means he will have to what? Here he will what? He still will do it. Because he has to break fast with the people in which at the city he's in. Say it again. That's a hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Fitr is the day, or the breaking the fast is when the day the people break their fast. Exactly. So that's one example. So I'll give you even the Shaykh even mentions this. He said, فَيَبْقَ الصَّائِمَ مَعَهُمْ وَلَوْ زَادَ عَلَى 30 يَوْمًا لأنه في مكان لم يرى الهلال فيه فلا يحل له الفطر ويشبه هذا ما لو سافر صائما من بلد تغيب فيه الشمس. The same thing happened to me. الساعة السادسة إلى بلد لا تغيب فيه إلا الساعة السابعة. Same thing happened to me. فإنه لا يفطر حتى تغيب الشمس في الساعة السابعة. في قوله تعالى ثم أتم الصيام إلى الليل. Same thing I just said. That person will remain fasting even if he increased or he had fasted an extra day, which was more than 30 days. And if it was extra by what? 1 day. Because he was in a place that the hilal or the sighting was not sighted yet, meaning the destination that he went to. Is it clear what I'm saying so far? Exactly. It's still Ramadan and the destination that he went to. So it's not permissible for him to break his fast. He says also likewise, it's similar to the person that he travels, he was fasting. He went from one city and he said the sun went down at 6 o'clock. In the country he went to, the sun didn't go down until 7 o'clock. So he's going against time. Same thing happened to me. I gave an example of that, didn't I? He have to keep fasting. He said, فَإِنَّهُ لَا يُفْطِرْ حَتَّى تَغِيبَ الشَّمْسِ. He will not break his fast until the sun goes down. I gave an example of that happened to what? Happened to me. I told you I was fasting probably for 21 hours. From the time I left Jeddah, Saudi, all the way up to the time when I arrived in JFK. The travel was what? 11 hours. But based upon the clock, if you was just to look at it without knowing the time difference between Saudi and America, I only fasted 5 to Dhuhr, 7 hours. No, I didn't. Because why? The trip was going against time. So I actually traveled more than what that period or that time frame, because the trip in itself is about 11 to 12 hours. And the sun didn't go down until another extra what? Maybe 8, 9 hours, because the day was long in that particular time in America. So I approximately fasted probably about 20 hours. I wasn't able to break my fast until when, everyone? Until the sun went down. Until when the sun went down. So is it clear the first example I gave? Jade. Another example. I love giving examples. Now let you guys see where your brains are working. طيب. Another example. Oh, this is easy. Let's just say one person went from one city. This second one is easy. Let's just say one person went from one city or one place or one country or what have you, one land, on Sunday. On Sunday. And he went to a country where the people started fasting Saturday. So the first example I said Monday. This example I kind of switched it. Is it clear what I'm saying so far? Type. Those people that were the destination, the place you're going to, they broke their fast. This is easy. They broke their fast on Sunday upon 29 days. So that destination, when they didn't complete 30, they only just did 29. When a person arrives to that particular country, can he break his fast with him? Or does he have to fast an extra day until he completes 30? Look into the hadith I gave you guys in your books. That's it. This is easy. Don't make it difficult. Huh? So that means that he will what? Break his fast with the 29 days of the people he arrived at. He did 29. Because we said that the Prophet ﷺ said the least. That was easy. You get it, Amir? Gee. Now I'm going to get a little more difficult. No, difficult. I would try slightly difficult. Not that difficult. If you got hit hadith, alhamdulillah, it'll be easy. Another example. Let's just say a person went from one land. The land, of course, the people in that particular land where you came from started Sunday. Then the destination or the land, or the people in the land which is your destination, they started Tuesday. This is kind of similar to the other one. However, they broke their fast on Wednesday upon 29 days. The other example I gave you guys was how many? Gee, you guys are paying attention. This one is upon 29. This is easy. So if a person arrives, what will he do? Same thing. I'll say it again. One person goes from one country, comes from a land that he's coming from, they stay fasting on Sunday. Then the country or the destination, the people that's in the other land have fasted what? Or they started their fast on Tuesday. However, they broke their fast on Wednesday upon 29 days. The first example I gave you guys upon 30 days, which will increase that he had to fast, and the first example was 31. Here, this is just subtracted one day. So that means that a person, based upon this example, he completed 30 days, of which the people he landed in or the people that he broke his fast with in that land or that destination he went to. So that means he did how many days? How many days he do? The first example is 31. So he did what? Subtract. Listen, the first example, now I'm going to have to go back to the example again. Because I told you in the first example, he fasted 31. He fasted a day extra. No. You got to have to go back a bit. Now we're going to go back. So now let's go back to the first example again. So I'm going to have to go back to the first example. So a person goes back he's coming back from a land, and the people started fasting Yom al-Ahad, Sunday. And the people in which the destination he went to, he started fasting. I said Monday. So now they broke their fast. Listen, they broke their fast on Yom al-Arbi'ah. Oh man, that was my mistake. They broke their fast on Yom al-Arbi'ah. They broke their fast on Wednesday upon 30 days. 30 days. So that means that the person here in this example, how many? He fasted an extra day, which was 31. Here in this other example, he broke his fast on what? Yom al-Thulatha. Alhamdulillah, this is my fault. He broke his fast on when? Yom al-Thulatha. Not Yom al-Khamis, or not Yom al-Arbi'ah, or Yom al-Thulatha, which is Tuesday. So here the other example is Wednesday. Here is on Tuesday upon 29 days. Upon 29 days. So when he arrived and he fasted with those people that had what? When he arrived with them and he broke his fast, that means he completed with them 30 altogether. I didn't even know you. Wednesday is it? It's Wednesday. I'll be out. Yep, that's right. يوم الاثنين وأفطر يوم الثلاثاء. Yeah, that's Tuesday. Yeah, that's right. This requires a little bit of math. That's all. But anyway, just to sum it up, the person in the first example fasted 31. The first one in this example fasted a complete of 30, which, as a result of it, he completed 30 days with the people in which he fasted with or broke his fast with in that destination, which he completed as a result of it 30 days. Here, his fast would be what? Complete, and he would not have to make up any days because he completed what? 30. طيب, another example. A person went from one country and he fasted on Sunday. Then he broke his fast, let's say, on Yom al-Thulatha. Yom al-Thulatha is Tuesday. Upon 30 days, so he completed what? 30 days. Upon 30 days in which the people in which is the destination, which they also likewise broke their fast, was similar or synonymous to the same day, Sunday. He says, Osama ahluhu yawm al-ahad. I'm sorry, everyone. I'm astaghfirullah to be there. Astaghfirullah. Start over again. I'm sorry. Erase that. Start over again. So a person now, let's start over again. Go back to Sunday. So a person of the people in which he started in the city started on Sunday. He says, and also likewise, they just broke fast, meaning the people that's in his homeland or whatever, where he came from. They broke their fast on Tuesday, upon 30 days already. Now I think this will make it clear. So khalas, they done. They saw the sighted at their month before he traveled. So in the country before he left and departed, they completed 30 days and they saw the moon. So, when let's just say in the destination, then where he went, it says, يوم إلى بلد صام أهله يوم الأحد وأفطروا يوم الاثنين عن 29 يوما. طيب. So now I'm going to try to make this we can just go throw everybody off. So now after he completed those days, he says, now, you'll find that the destination with the people, when they went to, of course, he said, let's just say they only did 29. So in the city which he came from, they did 30. The destination where they went to was what? Was 29. طيب. Now, let's just say in certain instances it was less. Now, first situation, I'm going to give the first example. Of course, once he's seen the hilal or the sight of the moon in the city which he came from, khalas, he's done. Even if he went to what? Another country and it's still fasting. Doesn't matter. He's seen the hilal, he does not have to what? Fast. However, he doesn't show against his opposition against the Muslim ruler or against the people where he says, oh, khalas, I'm going to eat in front of everybody while everybody's fasting. No. It just shows and not display him eating or drinking. But he will what? Break his fast. Let's just say now, where he went to a country, whereas now, the days in which when he arrived there, they already broke his fast, but he only completed 28 days. He didn't complete 29. Just to keep it simple. Let's just say he only completed 28. Did not complete 29. What would be upon him? Exactly. He owes one more day of fasting. So he had to make that up after the month of Ramadan. Just to keep it simple. Is it clear what I'm saying, everyone? Is that right or is that clear? No, due to the fact if a person on the day of the Eid, well, actually the Messenger of Allah prohibited the fast on the day of the Eid. A person can't fast the day of the Eid. He will wait after the Eid. And due to the fact that he fasted, or he broke his fast, he owes a day, which was not in a manner that opposed the religion, it was something rather he was excused for, he can fast at any day during the year. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's open. So is it clear what I'm saying so far, everyone? So, we gave examples of when, if it's extra, he still will have to fast. Then you give a days when the people are, where you saw it, you broke your fast in the city where you came from. Let's just say you completed the amount of days in your city, they seen the moon deciding. I already broke, I prayed the Eid with the people. Khalas. So now when I arrive to another country, they still fasting an extra day. What does a person do? He broke his fast and he prayed the Eid already. He prayed the Eid already. Hold on, let Ibrahim, let Ibrahim answer this one. Ibrahim, let's just say in the home that you're in, let's just say here you celebrated the Eid, you prayed the Salat al-Eid, you're done. You went to Saudi the next day, or you traveled the same day. After you prayed the Eid, Salat al-Eid, you jumped on a plane, went to, let's just say, Morocco. You found out they were still fasting. What would you do? I mean, technically, if you're traveling, you don't have to, but let's just say you did. Huh? You guys agree or not? You seen the hilal in the country which you was in. You seen the hilal. You agree with him or not? You say you disagreed. What do you say, Abdul Mateen? I mean, if you want to get technical, because you're traveling, you don't have to. But what did we mention? G. Good answer. Good answer. Good. طيب. I'm going to read something quickly. And this, inshallah, will give some extra clarity or shed some more light on this. طيب. He said, وَدَلِيلُ وُجُوبِ بَقَائِهِ الصَّائِمَ فَوْقَ ثَلَاثِينَ فِي الْمِثَالِ الثَّانِي. Now, he even gives some clarification to this. Listen. He says, as far as when a person is fasting an extra day, meaning he's completed where he does 31, he said that's due to the narration where the Prophet ﷺ said in your books, it says, if you see it, then what? Then break your fast. If you see it, then break your fast. So the Prophet ﷺ connected one, stopping his fasting or breaking it based upon the vision of the sighting, or seeing the sighting. And it was not seen yet until he arrived in what? The city in which he landed in, or his destination. Right, everyone? So it came as a result of it. It was not permissible for him to break the fast until the moon was sighted in that land in which he arrived at. So in that particular case, he fasted 31 days. Right? Jayyid. As far as in the example of, well, the first one was clear. Now, as far as in regards to the third example and the fourth example, I think, inshallah, bi'idhnillah, I hope that one was clear. Let's just say if it was less than 29 days, then a person would still have to what? Fast an extra day. If a person now, let's just say he went to the city in the land, he said, well, I only fasted 27, or I only fasted 28. And I arrived here, they already broke their fast already in this country. So I only fasted 28 days. Then what we say? He's got to fast an extra day. He still has to fast one more day. That's clear, right? طيب. What is now manifest to us in this adillah based upon the evidence is that what? All of this is to show based upon the opinion of what Shaykh al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah and also other than that, from the Imam say that this clearly shows that the time or the zones or the different lands are different. They are different. This does establish this, even based upon these examples, what we just gave. They give some example. What time? We got to pray now? Already? Wow, time flies. We'll stop. We'll continue after the salat, inshallah. But is there any anything unclear or vague so far? What I'm saying? Abdul Batin. Exactly. You have to at least do 29 days. Doesn't matter. At least. Any other questions, Amir? Young guys. That should be us. This should be you over here. That's what it is. I'm sorry. That's what we need to do when you get our age. That's what you're gonna want to do, but you can't. You can't do that. You got to still keep going. طيب. Is it clear so far what I'm saying, everyone? So we'll continue at the salah, inshallah. طيب, like I said, inshallah, don't worry, we're going to continue. وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه. Continue at the salah, inshallah.
الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله